Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to my stream. Just want to make sure here that it is streaming because there has been some weeks where it hasn't been doing that. Cool, it is. So, welcome. If you are new here, my name is Jules. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a commercial food photographer and stylist, and soon to be published cookbook author. And this week I'm going to be planning my upcoming week. I don't know what you're going to be doing. You may be planning, you may be journaling, you may be doing art, you may have me playing in the background while you clean, whatever the case may be. I'm glad that you're joining me today. So, yeah, I'm in my Jibun Techo, the diary and the days. I may do a little bit of updating in my Hobonichi cousin, which is my project planner. But today we're mostly going to be in my Jibun. So how was everybody's week? What did you do? Did you watch anything interesting? Did anything exciting happen? I had an exciting milestone on Friday, which was yesterday. I submitted my finished copy edits and accessibility guidelines for my cookbook to my editor. So that means that in like 3 weeks, it's going to be going off to design. And sometime in July, I will have like some decisions to make when it comes to interior design and cover design. And so that's just really, really exciting. And because I have been pretty much stuck in, I don't want to say stuck, but for the last 3 weeks, it's all that has been happening is the copy edits, that this week is going to be pretty much concentrating on administration stuff. I have a bunch of things that I've somewhat fallen behind because by the time when I was finished my copy edits, I just had no energy. So, hello Anomic, how are you? What are you working on today? How was it your youngest's birthday yesterday? How did that go? Let me know. So yeah, I am basically, as I was saying, catching up on some administrative things that I just could not get done because by the time I was finished doing my edits for the day, I was just beyond tired. And I don't know what it is, but the last few weeks, like even beyond my edits, I have been getting crappy sleep. It could have been the stress from my edits, I don't know. But I also had I had my quarterly blood work on Wednesday. And there's still some things that are not ideal despite treatment. So that could be why I'm just feeling crappy. So I don't know. I don't know what is going on there. My body likes to find the issue with chronic illness on top of other disabling things is that it's really difficult to tell sometimes. Is it a chronic health condition, my autoimmune disorders, or is it my mobility disorders, pain things that are causing me to be fatigued, or is it stress? Anomic's saying they had a great time and really enjoyed the chocolate strawberry cake. Yes, and today they're planning the week ahead. Excellent. Yeah, so aside from admin stuff, my priority being catching up on admin, I'm hoping to shoot a couple videos this week. I meant to grab them to show you before I do the video, but I decided to buy the Ohuhu watercolor brush pens that have, well, one side's a brush pen and the other side is .4 fine tip. And I did some color swatches in here. I still have to do color swatches in my cousin. But this may, once my Tombow brush pens die, instead of replacing those, I think I'm just going to use the Ohuhus. I find that the brush pen, once you work it a bit, the brush part is more flexible than the Tombows, and the fine tip part is more fine tips. Like this, I think this is like 1 millimeter or 0.7 or something. I'm doing it off camera. Where the Ohuhu is 0.4. The ghosting is basically the same. Like it's the same, and I can actually color on both sides, and it's not like it's staying on its side of the paper, unlike the alcohol, which we know soaks right through the paper and bleeds through instead of just ghosting. They don't have really Ohuhu. Please, like, make these colors in the watercolor, because then my life would be amazing. But this will do for sketching my artwork, so I have, or my photography, so I have more color and more representative of what I want to shoot. And then there are a few colors that I could use. Maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking that I might change up my color scheme for the second half of the year once I go into the new day. I don't know. We'll see. Anomic has the Ohuhu 60 with the brush and wedge tip. Yeah, I almost got the wedge tip, but I like the fine tip for outlining things. So, and they wish they had the watercolor in the more neutral set as well. Yeah. I mean, that's my chief complaint. And they're also, like, the price point is so much better than the Tombows. And I feel a little, what's the word? Not ridiculous. I have a little bit of buyer's remorse with the Tombows. And giving into the hype of everybody in the planner community being like, these are the brush pens that you want to have because they're mute. Like, everyone said they're muted and this and that, and that's just not the case. It has like neutral colors and stuff, but they're still too saturated. And if you brush over them, it's the overlapping lines is much more pronounced than when you do overlapping lines with the Ohuhu. I mean, so the color quality is different. So I don't know. I have to figure out, aside from sketching, a good use for these colors. I wish I was somebody who could have, like, every single week a different color scheme. That would hurt my brain. I mean, part of this is for me to be able to quickly see how much time I'm spending on each thing for when it comes to, like, bidding on work or whatever. I'm able to quickly discern where I am spending my time and figuring out, like, yeah, exactly how much time it takes to do certain tasks, which is important. So on Monday, Monday I have something exciting happening. Yeah, they are still very vibrant, the Tombows, which, I mean, yeah. They're fine, but they are really, I think Tombows are overpriced for the hype. I think that's the thing. So, I won't be buying anymore. I think I like the Ohuhu colors. I just want them to make this set in the watercolor. So on Monday, I have a meeting. Oh, so yeah, the edits. They are submitted yesterday. I finished them on Monday. I double checked that they were finished on Wednesday. Finished the accessibility guidelines doc for my editor as well. And then they were submitted and accepted yesterday. So the hard part is over. Well, the laborious part, I may have like some hard decisions to make once I get the 3 different like design choices back and picking the design that I want for my book. Picking the cover is going to also be probably torturous, but not as difficult as this phase was. I'm really glad that the copy edits are over. But then I also think, like, I wrote a book, I photographed it, and I edited it in 6 months. And it wasn't even like, so yeah, that is no wonder I'm kind of like tired and like just like so glad that's behind me, because that was a really difficult I don't think difficult's the word. It was a strenuous 6 months where I didn't get a lot of chance to like breathe and take time to appreciate everything that was going on. So it's done. It's over. I may have a couple questions. Yes, thank you. There may be some questions left, like to tidy things up before I go on my holiday for the last 2 weeks of this month. But yeah, the big part is done. Thank you. Yes, it is amazing. Thank you, Anomic. It was a journey, that is for sure. And it was quite the thing. I was on Monday, I have a meeting to discuss the possibility of teaching a course specifically for cookbook authors who are also photographers about how, like, what goes into publishing a book with a publisher instead of doing it self-published, how to query, what needs to be in your query letter, how to do a proposal, what to expect, and publishers to avoid. So that's happening on Monday. And it's my envisioning for this course is like a 7-week course, like 7 sessions over 7 weeks, with each week dedicated to a specific phase of the journey, from here's your idea all the way through to what to expect once your book, like all the way through to publishing. So I'm excited to be doing that. And then on Saturday, as we discussed last week, there is no live stream because I'm going to be participating in the Island Good Days market and selling some of my artwork and hopefully connecting with some retailers to sell my fine art prints, to stock them in their stores. So that's exciting, I think. Other than that, I'm just doing a lot of catch-up shooting videos. I have to update my business website, something terrible to update it. Like my speaking schedule my speaking engagements schedule is woefully out of date, and I need to add some like, hey, if you want me to speak at your event, these are some things that I have spoken about or I have been a guest speaker for in the past, and you may want to hire me to speak at your events. I have some video. What else? There's a whole list of things. Oh goodness, that means vlog instead. Just kidding. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna vlog. I'm glad you put the just kidding in there. what vlogging, people who do vlogging, I don't understand how they have the patience for that. So yeah, I have so many M365. Oh, that's an article that I have to finish writing. That's what I mean. Like, I haven't done anything outside of edits for weeks, and so now I'm like, what does my to-do list look like? So let's do that. I got so much stuff to do, friends, to catch up on all the things that I pushed aside. No, I don't want this color. I think I want, yeah, N65. Let's do that. Yeah, I really, nothing has happened, like, business-wise, because I've just cookbook. Doing editing, like, doing the copy edits for a cookbook in 3 weeks is some type of phenomenally ridiculous time. Okay, so, new products. I have to add a new product post to my Patreon post. I have to continue f-stoppers Microsoft 365 post. I'm writing an article about why I use Microsoft 365 for business, to run my business. Gosh, what else do I have to do? I need to finish the Ohuhu unboxing video. I need to, I just had it in my head. Film, what month did we just finish? May. This is my deadest brain. I was just gonna say my brain is dead. Film May flip. Update speaking engagement page. Engagements. Not enough room. What else do I have for, let's go back to my June list. Unhaul video. Oh, I gotta do that too. Update. You know what? I think this is a good place to start. And then, do I have any, am I shooting anything? Oh, so this past week, here's some more disappointment. I think I got a good shot for my ice cream. I may have been able to get a good shot of strawberry rhubarb pie, like a process shot. But my strawberry shortcake shot did not turn out as I wanted to, and I have no shoots coming up this week. Oh, thank goodness. Who is saying, I can't believe half a year is almost over already. I know. Like, that's the... that's the real thing that is blowing my mind every time I think about the fact that half this year is over and that my book is going off to print, like, sooner rather than... It's now closer to my book going off to print than it was to the signing of my contract, which is, like, crazy that I'm halfway through that particular journey. Island Days Market. Oh, that should say Island Good Days. Oh well. I know what it means. Yeah, it's been... I'm going to put priority catch up. And it's just, I have, like, it just feels like yesterday that I was playing catch up from the 2 weeks holiday that I took at the end of March. And here we are already. It's almost time for me to like film another quarterly review of my planner system, and I swear I just did that. So I don't know where this year well, I do know where this year has gone. I've been busy writing a book, which is again really weird. It's really funny because, and I think I've talked about this before, when I finished my book on time, I was having a nervous anxiety moment because I couldn't believe I did it. And, like, I doubted my ability to do it. And no one else did, because always when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. But I just could not believe that I pulled it off. I still don't believe I pulled it off. So it is crazy, yes. I don't understand. I don't time, and as you get older, I mean, it's this thing that I remember clearly, vividly when I was like an early teenager, being like, wow, the years get so much faster as we get older. When I was younger, years used to seem like eternities. And now a year goes by and it feels like a couple months. And now, like, if I could go back and tell 12, 13-year-old me, wait until you're in your 40s, a year's going to be a day. I do not comprehend how this happens. This is a business day, but I'm going to put this blue, or the greeny blue, the cool, or the green gray one, just because, just to remind myself that all day I'm going to be away at a business thing, which I'm kind of nervous about. I have to figure out which pieces of art I'm going to bring. I think I'm decided, like, because between my wheelchair and the table that we have to bring and all my art, I have to be very strategic about what I bring to this thing. We always want to speed them up when we are young. Yeah. That's another really thing that I wish I could go back and tell younger me, like, your wish for things to be quicker than they are. No, because all of a sudden, like, you don't know where, like, a whole entire decade is going to pass, and you're going to be like, excuse me, how did that happen? I was, my partner, they just turned 50, and they may not like me talking about this. But it's just one of those things where it's really difficult to believe that when they're 50, because 50 is not old once you reach 50. I mean, and at least the 50-year-olds now are younger in heart and spirit and behavior than the 50-year-olds. Like, we're not old like 50-year-olds. We hold on to our youthfulness, I think, is how I'm trying to frame this. But it's also, like, when we met, we were both in our 30s. And now, I mean, they're 50. And how did that happen? Because it doesn't, I mean, it seems like we've been together for 10 lifetimes in the best way possible. But at the same time, it only seems like yesterday that we met. And it's been over a decade. And it's no thank you. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the fact that my oldest is closer to 30 than they are to 20. That they're closer to 30 than they are to being born. And that, too, just seemed like it happened yesterday. I don't know. It's weird. Time is weird. How it works, who knows. I have to grab breakfast that day, to go. Oh, no. I don't know if I'll be able to. Because I have to pack the car up during this prep period. How are we going to do that? I feel like I am missing something that I'm supposed to be putting in my planner for this week, but I'm not. As feels that way. Oh my goodness. So it is June. We've established that. Doesn't feel like it, but it's June. It feels like whenever there's a new month, when a new year, because I still have to write checks for my rent and a few other things. And it's always like when I write my rent checks for the year, I have to, like, it's the whole remembering to date the year correctly. And now it's like with the months, it's June. Their partner, so I'm saying their partner will be 50 next year. And yeah, they met when he was 26. Wow. Yeah. I never thought that I, being anomic, never thought about it like that. A quarter century has passed. Yeah. Isn't that, like, absolutely mind-boggling? When you, like, a quarter of a century has passed. Over a quarter century has passed since my oldest was born. No thank you. Because, yeah, they will be 27 in September. And I have to think about it. Like, I have to do the math every single time I talk about how old my kids are. Not because I'm a horrible parent and can't remember, but because there's just no way. Like, when they were young, before they turned 20, it was really easy to be like, yeah, they're this age. As soon as they turn 20, I have to think really, really hard about how old they are. Because it's like, excuse me, how did that happen? So it's a little bit cuckoo. How does it work? So what was I saying? June. Oh, weather. Oh, my goodness. So it's still like, summer is still refusing. We've had a couple days that were like 28. Nothing major, but then the next day it goes back down to like 13 Celsius. I'm talking here. Not in the Fahrenheit for my American viewers. And they're expecting it to be like cold throughout June here. And then they're saying that once June's over, we're going to get like 50-degree temperatures and we're going to burn down to the ground again. And I'm just like, hey, climate change, can we not? I mean, we don't even, all of our farmers are just so screwed. We had a whole bunch of highways again wash out yesterday, and road closures and stuff because of flooding, because it was just like torrential rain. And I'm kind of getting tired of it, especially because it's like screwing up my ability to do baking. Because the humidity is just, it's so extra. Now I'm going to say, okay, Jules, now I feel old and decrepit, thanks. I'm sorry. I mean, no, I am, but also at the same time, it's like, thank you for joining me in the old and decrepit club, even though I do not, like, it's one of those things when I think that I'm 46, I don't feel 46. My body is trying to say that it's 100. It's not, but my body is not treating me nicely. But that's just the disability. But my brain I'm still a teenager. I'm still very youthful at heart. But no, yeah, so weather. Oh, have you watched any? Did you watch anything this past week that's interesting? We finished the latest season of Bridgerton, which was not as good as the first season, is my takeaway from that. And we started watching, I think it's called Come Dance With Me. I'm going to double check this. It's on, I don't know what it's on in America. In Canada, it's part of Stack TV. And I think Come Dance With Me. And it is the sweetest thing of parents dancing with their kids. One parent. And the kids talk about why they picked their parent, like that specific parent, to dance with them. And it is just the sweetest thing. And I've had it on my watch list for a while, and I've put off watching it. I don't know why. But it's just very sweet watching them I don't care about the judges. The judges are not my favorite. I don't think any judges will be able to compare with the So You Think You Can Dance judges, regardless of who's judging. Um, like even World of Dance, the judges were okayish. Like I like J Lo and Derek Huff and Neo as individual people, but the way they judge just, and I don't like the judges at all with Dancing with the Stars. I can't even watch Dancing with the Stars. But it's just sweet. Anomic's partner has gotten into Adam Ruins Everything. It is eye-opening. Oh, I think I have that on my list. That's the one with Ryan Reynolds, right? If I'm wrong, then I don't have it on my list, and I need to put it on my list. They have been, Anomic's saying that we've been going through the episodes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that is on my list. I will wait for confirmation for that. And so, yeah, what else? We started watching the most recent season of Cobra Kai. We decided to put off watching the most recent season of Stranger Things until the second half of this season 4, I guess, or whatever season we're on now, is dropped in July. We don't like it when things are broken up. What else? Oh, here's a fun thing that happened this week. Now that I'm looking back, on Wednesday, and this is, so here's a thing that's not talked enough about, is publishing finances, right? Like how royalties are split up, even though it's like we're getting more open about it. I'm only got a shop on Friday as well. So on Wednesday, I got my royalty statement in the mail, which I was not expecting until after my book was published. His name is Ryan. Oh, not Ryan. Adam Conivore, the host. Oh, okay. Then it's a different show, and I'm going to put that on my list right now. I think this is the bookmark for that. Adam Ruins Everything. Adam Ruins Everything. I forgot how to spell for a second. Yeah, so on Wednesday, I got my first royalty statement, which I was not expecting until after my book was published. But my royalties are in a negative balance because of my advance, and you don't get your royalties until your advance is paid out, but you still get the statement so you can know how much more you have, like how many volumes books have sold, at what price points, at what royalty points, so you know, like you can get an idea of when you might earn out your advance. But everyone else I know has received their this is why I'm like totally not. There's so many scratches out this week. That's fine. They haven't received their royalty statements until after their book has published. And yeah, so it's just really, it was a really interesting surprise on Wednesday when I received my royalty statement, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, is this real then? Like, I'm actually now getting statements and complete with a letter from my publisher about, and the letter is like a form letter, kinda. It's basically, here's a 6-month update from your publisher, which is a rule about what's going on in the publishing house, any changes that are happening, updates on the supply chain issues that are still like causing disruptions in publishing timelines, which hopefully, knock on wood, doesn't Doesn't hurt my book too much. We'll see. We will see. Today's a dog food day, so that would be Wednesday. And Saturday. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be... I know. I don't have to make it on Saturday, because I will have enough frozen. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. But yeah, so it was one of those things where I'm like, oh, this might be actually really happening, because I am now getting my every 6 months royalty statements. And it's just, it was a nice, happy surprise that I was not expecting, and kind of helped like make it more real that I actually have a book coming out next year. Yeah, it is still exciting to see. Like, that's the whole... I mean, you don't get royalty statements if it's not happening. Like, it just confirms even more that my book is happening. It's moving through. Yes, it's real. I'm not dreaming it. I don't want that dog. I put that in... Oh, I like this dog. Let's see this butt-slaying dog. Yeah, the royalties will be on the way. Yeah, like, that's the... And it's expected that I will earn out my advance pretty quickly. So, but it's just one of those things. It's a milestone. It's one of those milestones that make it real. What else do I have happening this week? What else happened this week? I'm in such a, like, everything is a blur. Handed in my manuscript, copy edits. I mean, that's the big thing. What am I looking for? CG030. I feel, though, that I'm on I did a no spend for May and a no spend for April. And I put down a no spend for June. And that may change. It depends on how much art or sales I get on Saturday. Because I feel like I want to celebrate. Because this is a huge milestone. It means like my book is being pushed through. Oh, so Anomic is saying the drug cartel has muscled in and controls the avocado trade. Just one of Adam's show tidbits. Wow. Is the Adam show... Yeah. Wow. See, now I don't even want to... Like, is that all of avocados? Like, even the ones that are, like, California? So, avocados are a thing... Like, I buy local... And, like, either grown here in the Cowichan Valley or in BC as much as possible. But there are some things that, okay, I did that wrong. I gotta slow down for a second. There are some things that have to be brought in because they just don't grow anywhere in Canada. And, avocados are one of those things. So does this mean, like, even California, ones that say, like, made or imported from California, are those would have to be affected by the cartel as well? That's just fascinating to me. Okay, I need to put in my exercise. I can't make that mistake again. Exercise. That's another thing. I mean, it's not like I'm a failure for not doing it, but... There was a couple days this week where I could not exercise. Like, yesterday I didn't exercise, and Thursday. Because I'm just so worn out from, like, people, I think a common, I don't want to say misconception, thing that people do not know is that, thinking, doing mental work burns a lot of glucose and a lot of sugar, and it's one of the reasons why you crave sweets when you're stressed out. Aside from it, also is like a dopamine push. But It was, let's do this. And Friday. I was just so, yeah. Doing brain work is exhausting because it does burn glucose, sugar, in your brain to keep your brain fueled and thinking. And so I did not exercise as much as I normally do this week, which is fine. I also did a lot more for, like, doing recipe development also wiped me out. But I'm hoping to be able to get back on track only because, I mean, I enjoy it. It keeps me happy. Is this the right color? Nomic is saying, yeah, all avocados, unfortunately, the cartel owns a piece. Wow, that is certainly going to influence some of my purchasing decisions. Exactly how, I'm not quite sure, because avocados are one of those things where it's one of the few, like, it's a healthy fat. You need healthy type fats, like avocado fat that's in avocado in your diet. So that's a really, yes, low carb people don't understand how much they are hurting their brains. Yes. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, I'm not low carb, though my carb proportion in my diet is lower than a typical diet. A typical diet, you want your carb portions to be like 60%, and then like whatever protein. And my carbs, though, are 40% on my diet, only because if I don't do a mix of 30 fat, 30 protein, and 40 carbs, I have hypoglycemia. And so if I do not do a really like balanced that mix of carbs, fat, and protein, my blood sugars tank after I eat, and I like crash and burn so hard, and I get migraines and all that other stuff, just because my body overproduces insulin if I don't counterbalance with proteins and fats. And that's what, like, the avocado is one of those things that is a really easy thing for me to be able to, like, who doesn't want to eat an avocado and get those healthy fats to help offset insulin production, over insulin production. It's not, so yeah, I'm looking for, it's right, nope, that's not it. CG, I swear I just had it in my hands. There we go, 030, I think. Let me double check that. Fruits are an excellent fuel source for the brain, so to cut them out completely has always seemed strange to me. Yeah, fruits you should not cut, like, and that's another thing. People are like, ew, you cannot have sugars. Sugar is fine. There's nothing wrong with sugar. People need to stop demonizing food. The problem is if you're not having things like protein, and it's empty carbs, right? Like carbs, naked carbs, absent of fats and proteins to counterbalance that insulin production. And this is not what I'm looking for. I've already done this. So I'm looking for WG050. So too much sugar can kind of, like, and we're talking, though, refined sugars, like granulated sugar, it has an effect on brain chemistry when it comes to releasing serotonin. Sugar has an effect on serotonin production in the brain, which is weird, but it's not fruit. Like, the sugar found in fruit is not the sugar responsible for things like serotonin production. The sugars found in fruits are actually are a necessity. That's the type of sugars that bring your fuels, that fuels your brain. I'm doing that a lot today. And so it is, yeah, as Anomic's saying, it's always about balance. And everyone's balance, though, is different. But unless you are diabetic and carbs will kill you because you do not produce insulin, as opposed to me where I overproduce insulin. Keto is not healthy. There is a dietitian, she's Canadian, Abby Sharp, and she has a YouTube channel called Abby's Kitchen. Her channel's mostly geared towards cis women. So if you are trans and looking for good, like, science-based dietary advice, Abby's Kitchen is, just know, like, Abby is really good, and she is starting to get better about using inclusive language like pregnant people instead of pregnant women when talking about pregnancy and certain things about diet. She's also so you need to know that going in that some of her language is a little bit erasure when it comes to trans people, both across the spectrum. But her channel, because her channel is geared primarily towards cis women, so it's just something to keep in mind. I'm not saying don't watch her. I'm saying watch her, knowing that. She also had disordered eating. She has a history of disordered eating, and every now and then there are things that crop up that threaten her recovery, and she's very open about that. And so her channel's also geared towards people with histories of eating disorders, disordered eating, and to help them basically overcome fear foods. Things like, oh no, I can't have this Pop-Tart because it has sugar. And so she even has videos like, how can we turn a Pop-Tart into like a balanced meal? Because Pop-Tarts can absolutely be a part of a balanced meal. And it's just one of those things where, but she also talks, she gives a lot of science and studies behind recommendations, gentle nutrition, so it's about balance, but for balance is going to be different for everybody based off of either health conditions, metabolic disorders, stuff like that. But overall, it's nice seeing a dietitian who is like, screw the goal of trying to lose weight. Let's focus on other indicators of health, because weight, like, you cannot control your body weight. So let's focus on balance, on not demonizing food, and like learning how, learning the actual, not getting blasted or blah blah blah. Getting rid of diet culture bullshit. Excuse my language. I do not swear often on stream. I swear a lot in real life. But she's basically, her whole goal is to smash diet culture and to give it a middle finger is what her whole MO is about, because that leads to disorder eating. Protein, carbs, and fat at every meal has helped me. Yes, Anomic. That is a key. And how you go about, like, what that balance is. Like, most people can do, like, the 60-20-20 ratio and be just fine. And then there's some people like me who have to have a higher protein diet and lower carbs. But it's still, like, my carb intake is still a lot. I mean, not huge amounts, but it's like 160 grams of carbs a day minimum. And another thing about carbs that people need, let's talk about food and nutrition. Another thing about carbs is, without carbs, your body will have a hard time absorbing protein. Carbs push protein, drive protein into your muscles. And so you need carbs for synthesis of protein into your muscles. So, and that's why after you work out, you should have carbs and protein, like, have a good big dose of carbs with your protein, because that will help to drive the protein into your muscle and for repairing them. Namek is saying that they don't like it when people just automatically assume because the person is thin, they are healthy. Yes. That's like, there's That's another thing that she talks about. And then there's also the problem with people who are skinny fat, that they may look skinny, they may be small, but they have like the fat around their stomach, and that is what's dangerous. Their body composition, and they don't have enough muscle on them, right? It's all about, and they could be really, really healthy and or look healthy. They could be skinny, and their cholesterol could be absolutely through the roof. Another channel that I like to watch that's like health wise and science based is Dr. Mike, and he revealed and Dr. Mike is fit, like he's built, he's like getting into boxing and stuff like that, but his cholesterol was really, really high despite exercise and everything, because his diet was crap, because he was relying too much on eating out and stuff with his hectic schedule instead of like making time to cook at home. Anomic does 50% carbs, 30% fat, and 20 protein split, but more fruits and roots than refined carbs. Yeah. So my carbs, I get my carbs from things like whole grain breads, sprouted whole grain breads. But I don't eat a lot of bread. I maybe eat bread once or twice a week, if that. I don't enjoy eating bread. Oatmeal. I have oatmeal every single morning with my breakfast. I get my carbs from potatoes, from rice, and even people think that rice is a refined carb, even it's not. Yeah, so that's what else do I eat for carbs? Fruit in I have smoothie. I have a post-workout smoothie, which is like protein powder, oat milk. That's another source of my carbs. Fruit, and then I'll put like hemp seeds, some nut butter for the fats, chia seeds for fiber. But then my dinner is, my foods, I have a wide variety of food, but I get my carbs are from vegetables. I have to be careful with because of my IBS. I can't do leafy greens, which really makes me sad because I love spinach and I love broccoli and I love, Swiss chard. However, my body does not digest that type of fiber. So I will eat it every now and then, but I always end up paying for it. But it's one of those things where, good sourdough bread. Sourdough bread, though, is not a refined carb per se because it is fermented. And because sourdough bread is a fermented bread, the actual fermentation has good things in it to help your gut microbe. So even though it may be white flour, which is refined carbs, sourdough bread itself is not a refined carbohydrate because of the fermentation process that in the making of sourdough bread. Food is not simple. I think that's the takeaway from that. Body check-ins. What am I looking for? I'm looking for GG020. GG020. That just seems like the wrong color. Sourdough bread I love as well. I like rye breads. It's one of those things where, and I eat a lot of fish and a lot of chicken. Fish and chicken. And because I have to have like 130 grams of protein a day minimum, it all depends on my activity level. But that's where I start off, and that's a lot of protein. Like I eat 4 to 5 times a day. I try 4 or 5 times. I don't always get 5 times. So minimum 4 times a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, post-workout snack. And so that means for every single meal, I need to have like 35 grams of protein, which is like a chicken breast or a thigh or no, two. Anyways, that's a lot of protein. So protein, like without my protein powder, my whey powder, I would not be able to get that. I have protein powder in my oatmeal which is oatmeal, yogurt, fruit, and oatmeal is my breakfast. And I just eat that every day because I like it and it's easy and I don't have to think about it and it's balanced. I get my 40 grams of protein in the morning. And then lunch, I will usually do like fish, and then maybe I'll have popcorn for my carbs because I'll just eat like sardines out of a can or smoked oysters and a big, like 2 cups of popcorn. And that is the fats, the protein, and the carbs. Popcorn's really good for you. And that may seem like a weird lunch, or I'll have butter chicken or something, whatever. Soup, chicken, soup. And dinners, variety. But my breakfast and my post-workout shake are basically the same thing. And between those two things, I get approximately 70 grams of protein, which is like the daily recommended for most people of 56 grams, and I have to have 130. So that's the protein powder, and it's an easy way to get the protein powder, and there's half my protein for the day. And it helps to regulate my blood sugars throughout the day. So if there is a meal where I cannot get in that 35 grams of protein that I need, my blood sugar doesn't crash as much because I've loaded up on protein on a previous meal. Anomic uses hydrolyzed collagen in their tea or coffee to boost their protein because it has no strong taste. Oh, that is an interesting solution. And Anomic also says they want to try growing a starter again, but want to try the drier method of keeping it alive without using all that flour. Yeah. I have purchased, so at the co-op, they're one of the things you can buy from farmers if you don't have the I always forget to start a starter, and so I buy starter, but then I forget to feed my starter. Even when I set an alarm, I have to figure out a better way of putting that routine in, because I would love to make my own sourdough bread. But it's one of those things where I forget that I have it, and then 2 weeks later I open up my fridge to clean it out, and I'm like, oh well, there goes another starter that I purchased that is going in the compost because I did not feed it and I did not use it. So you think you can dance in Star Trek? Lisa the Demigod, hello, welcome, and they're saying they really enjoyed listening to me, so thank you. Oh, thank you. Maybe they'll learn something. She DoorDashes. I'm assuming, sorry if I those are not your pronouns. DoorDash 3 meals a day. It's horrible, they know. Anomic is saying bone broth also has protein, so soups and pan sauces or cooking my rice and it helps. Yes. I use I make bone broth a few times. I can buy chicken carcasses from the farmers, and then I just make a bone broth in my Instapot, and then I jar it, and then I will make gravy out of it because that's a quick protein boost with some good fats in it and other things. So Lisa, first of all, I want to address your DoorDash thing. DoorDash is not a horrible thing to have to do. So I am a cookbook author, and and so obviously I know food. I cook most of my meals, but also I have chronic fatigue and chronic pain. And there are days where when you're working around food, you're just so tired that you cannot even bring yourself to eat what you've already cooked or what is already in your house. And so I DoorDash as well. But and it's bad for the wallet, but it's good for if that's how you're going to have to eat. Like, it's better to DoorDash than not eat at all. But the things that I do is we have a lot of really good, like, Vietnamese and Japanese and Korean foods. Korean. So I will get sushi, which is really good. I can DoorDash sushi and have it into my house in 15 minutes. That's a nice, sushi is a good balance of carbs, protein, and fat. if you're doing like a salmon or a tuna roll. So sushi's good thing to DoorDash. Stir fries are a good thing to. Stir fries are perfect meal. It has your protein, it has your fats, and it has your carbs all in one. So DoorDash, stir fries. DoorDash Indian food. Indian food is another cuisine that is naturally balanced. So the main things that I DoorDash are sushi, stir fry, like a peanut, chicken, and vegetable with mushrooms for added protein and fiber, and Indian food. And I avoid the fast food places, not because I don't like them, only because my body does not react well. We have a chicken place that's kind of like Kentucky Fried Chicken, but it's better, Lee's Chicken. And I know America has Lee's Chicken, but it's different than the Lee's Chicken that we have here, even though I think they kind of have similar origins. And every now and like I love they make the best gravy, and I like their French fries. And I ordered Lee's Chicken the other day for the first time in probably 6 months to 9 months, and my body rejected it pretty harshly. And it's not that it was like undercooked or anything like that. Yes, Vietnamese food is really it's a nice healthy balance. Yeah, so my body is just like, nope, I cannot do. There must be something processed. Like I cannot do processed foods, like foods with preservatives in it, because it's very rare. And it's the same thing with like I love me a good McDonald's or Burger King. The problem is there is something in there, some preservative or something that my body is just like, sorry, we're not having any of this today. Thank you very much. How much time do we have? I am going to do some filling in. Gotta fill in my colors for this week, because that's another thing that happened this week. I even set a timeonomic to fill in this, but by the time I was done my copy edits, I was like, nope, sorry, buddy, you're done. So what else? Yeah, so Dr. Mike, Abby's Kitchen, if you want anything medical related and diet related that is scientifically like that is not fear mongering, that is not fat phobic, that is not queer phobic, that is respectful of people's histories with disordered eating or whatever, those are two channels I recommend. Yes, IBS. That's, yeah. IBS, my IBS hates McDonald's, and I don't know what it is. It's Subway too. There's something in Subway that my IBS is just like, sorry, like when I'm having it, I'm good. The next day or a few days after I eat it, it's not fun. It's not painful. I'm lucky that my IBS just causes more trips to, like, I don't have discomfort with the bloating from my IBS, and maybe it's because I've had it for so long I don't notice it anymore. But I have noticed that fast food or like overly processed food, because all food is processed, I should say overly processed food, things that are cooked in such a way as so that these have a long shelf life, my body cannot deal with anymore. It's just like, nope. You need to have more food that is made at home. And that yeah. What am I doing? I am looking in my weeks, 'cause I gotta fill in this. I started to finally start decorating, because I have to do the flip. All these days I haven't decorated yet. I think I'm going to set aside Monday to just I have some work related things and that meeting on Monday. But I think I'm gonna spend a lot of time on Monday catching, like, doing some it's not backfilling because it's all filled out. I just haven't done the decorating part of this for a while. And now, like saying, late night visits to the loo for Mickey D's or KFC or Popeyes. We don't have Popeyes in Canada, but yeah, that's basically what it is. There is a cost to eating fast food. Thankfully, though, with DoorDash, at least where I live, there are a lot of non-fast food items that are just as, like, nutritionally sound. I don't want to say healthy because that's not. I don't want to, like, have, like, the diet culture use of the word healthy. But that is, like, if I was cooking for myself. The restaurants are, like, home cooked. They don't rely on high preservatives and stuff like that. So, okay. And it's good food. So, bottom line, don't feel guilty for having to DoorDash because you have to eat. And I'm all about, like, if you can cook for yourself, that is always ideal. But there are a million different reasons why people cannot do that. Everything from disability to just being completely tired and wiped out at the end of the day, to not having the brain power to decide what it is you're going to eat and just be like, you know what, I'm going to phone it in today. Which is perfectly valid as far as I'm concerned. I think part of the whole diet culture, I hate it. It makes me angry. And even like the really good, I'm looking for GG01. Anthony Bourdain. Oh, yes. So the meal kits. I address meal kits in my cookbook. It is one of those things that if you want me to throw away food, the meal kit is... I had so much food waste with meal kits because it's one of those things where it's cool that you don't have to do any meal planning and that they do the shopping for you and it's delivered to your door in perfectly portion sizes. Like, that's the whole thing about the meal kits. My problem with the meal kits, and this is a thing where your miles may vary, is that they either were over, like, they would be like, here are your 4 steps to make it, but the actual 4 steps were like 20 steps, like, hidden in those 4 steps. It would be like, oh, you're going to have your dinner on your table in 30 minutes. An hour and a half later, I'm still cooking and prepping because they're not realistic prep and cook times. It always takes longer than what is on the package. And there would be many days where it would be like, okay, well, tomorrow I'm having this whatever meal kit thing is, and then tomorrow comes and I am just so tired after my day's work that I don't have any like physical, like the spoons, energy left to be able to cook it. So I ended up having to order DoorDash something in, as opposed to having my pantry filled with pre-made meals because I jar everything and just being able to open up a jar. So I tried HelloFresh. I tried Good Food is one. I think that they're only in Canada. So HelloFresh and Good Food, and then there's one that I tried that was like shakes that all you had to do was add like smoothies. That's the word. That was a waste of money. I can make smoothies much cheaper than what they were costing, but I thought, well, this is convenient. I just have to dump the contents of the container into my blender and then put it back in the smoothie cup, and it was dealt with. But no, it's one of those things where if you have any, if you do not have a condition that impairs your energy levels, like if you do not have anything like chronic fatigue wise, and you have lots of energy at the end of your work day, where you could probably spend 30 to 45 minutes prepping everything and then then it's good. They're bland, and that's another thing I don't like. They're bland, and you have to add your own. You have to add extra flavor to it. They overly rely on salt and pepper as their seasoning instead of actual real flavors. Which is fine. I understand they have to like appeal to a mass market, and not everyone can handle flavor. But again, that's another downside. So, if you do not have any issues with conditions that either lead to executive dysfunction or fatigue, then meal kits are worth it. If you do have conditions that impair your energy levels, whether it be physical energy or mental energy, then meal kits are not worth it. Lisa is saying that they just canceled their HelloFresh for the exact reason. It was good, but they couldn't find the energy to do it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's great for able-bodied people. They're not good for if you have any type of disability. I cannot really recommend them. Because it's just one of those things where it's really unpredictable. Like everyone has a different measure, like how to measure spoons. And how, like, what types of energy is going to deplete a spoon full of your energy. But HelloFresh for me, just because it was one of those things where it would take a lot of physical energy. Like, I would be so tired by the time, like, the days that I would be able to muster together the energy to cook them, by the time I was finished cooking them, I was so tired that I didn't have enough energy to eat them. So that's my experience with them, and that's why I'm saying your miles may vary. So, like, I mean, here, let's look at my chart of type of activities and what depletes me. So, like, when I assess my spoons, this is my chart of this is what I can do based on my spoons. So I can edit, update my Instagram. This is if I have like 1 spoon of energy. I can study some recipes. I can develop ideas. I can study photography. I can cook a side dish, but I can't cook a main meal. Or I could write 200 words, and it's just one of those activities that I can do with 1 spoon. With 2 spoons, it's still one activity, but the activities go up a little bit more. If I have 3 spoons, then I can do 2 activities. And I can still only cook a side dish at 3 spoons. I have to have 4 spoons before I can cook a main meal. So that's where I get to being able to cook. And when I have 4 spoons, then that's when I will cook, like, have all 5 of my Instant Pots going, cook a lot of food, jar it, and then I don't have to cook for weeks. So that's how. Yeah, so if that is your baseline, I need 4 spoons of energy to be able to cook a full meal. You may only need 2 spoons of energy, and then maybe HelloFresh or the equivalent may be okay for you. But it's very rare that I have 4 spoons, as we all know. So, we don't all. People have been watching this for a long time. 4 spoons are not something that happen all that frequently. So HelloFresh did not happen all that frequently. And it was really unfortunate because I like it's a solid premise. It's just not disability friendly. I'm looking here. On the 1st of July or June. I just skipped a month. When I was saying I guess the ones you just heat up would be the only option for yes. And there are some, we don't have ones like in America that are like mass scale. There's a couple, like private enterprises, smaller companies that you can pay like a small fee. It's almost like Meals on Wheels, but not quite. And they will deliver meals to your door and you just have to reheat them. I mean, that's the type of thing, that works, that would work. The problem with that, again, is, The meals are very bland. And they're things like, at least the ones here, again, because it's a population thing, right? You don't have the same population as in America to be able to make it feasible. But it's things like meat, potatoes, and peas. Some type of meat, mashed potatoes and peas, or carrots, or like it's like a hospital meal is the type of food that you would get either in a hospital or a care home or whatever. Just the very basics and nothing exciting. So that's where, I mean, the co-op, I can get lasagna and enchiladas and tacos and that kind of stuff frozen. Cost a little bit more, and have that delivered to my door. If I don't want to go the DoorDash route, the problem with that is they don't have nutritional labels on it, and I need to know the ratio for carbs and fat and protein only, so that my blood sugar doesn't crash because there's too many carbs and my insulin decides to go into hyperdrive. So, yeah, there's options. And that's why I don't hate on things like DoorDash. And DoorDash, at least with DoorDash, unlike other, like I'm not keen on the gig economy because it exploits workers. But at least with DoorDash, the tip that you give, 100% of it goes to the driver. So at least I know what goes to the driver. And I can kind of offset some of the predatory things that DoorDash and stuff do in the gig economy. No, it's saying, yeah, that sounds drab. Oh, yeah, talking about the meals. They think the ones here were all top chefs that come up with a variety of meals. Yeah. So here's a thing that's happening soon. I should be getting the memorandum of understanding. I'm going to be working, it's called Cook Unity. I've heard of it. And so yeah, I'm going to be doing something similar here with the farmers cooperative that I work with. Did that say recipe dev? I'm actually going to be creating a recipe, like a food box service that is geared, and it's unfortunately only going to be like local, but I'm hoping that somebody will see the model and then we'll pick it up in other areas in Canada to help offset food insecurity. So yeah, I'm going to be working to develop a recipe box, a meal kit for people who are disabled, that they can throw everything into their Instapots and have, so all dump and pour recipes. It's all just like, here's your ingredients, they're already prepped for you, dump them in your Instapot, set the time, and you're done. And they're also going to have options that are for people who have IBS and cannot do leafy greens or whatever, and still be able to have balanced meals without having to think about it. So, but yeah, that's an exciting thing that's coming up that I get to work on, and the hope is I'm also helping to write the local food policy, and we just got a grant to do that. And so the hope is that other areas, oh yeah, thank you. Not for people who are watching this on replay, and I'm saying that's neat and that would be great. So the hope is that other areas will, and it's part of the food hub that is opening up here that I'm a part of, and then I'm also going to be teaching courses out of it that we're hoping to be able to live stream, so that people can like attend them from anywhere, that also like teach skills, cooking, really easy things to do, that is a program based off of my cookbook, that can be accessible from anywhere. Yeah. So that food hub doesn't open until September, barring any more delays in construction because of the pandemic. Yeah, then Wednesday I went to, yeah, barring any delays from the pandemic, um, we're going to be meeting over the summer now that the heavy work for my cookbook is done, to start making food policies and working on curriculum and just figuring out exactly how this is going to look, interfacing with local farmers to be able to like have a good steady supply chain of vegetables and fruit and meat to include in these meal kits, and just have them, yeah, delicious, savory, not bland, not relying on salt and pepper as the seasoning choice, and like healthy as in good balanced source of nutrients, not greenwashing healthy, like ideas of healthy. So yeah, I'm excited about that. There's a it's weird. It's really weird. If somebody, because this was my dream when I started my disabled kitchen and garden website, was to have an actual physical space to be able to have disabled people to be able to utilize the kitchen, have access to Instant Pots and Aero Gardens and stuff, at low to no cost. And it's going to, the pieces are starting to come together to make it a reality. And oh, how did that just smudge? And it's just really, whoa, that is happening. Like I don't understand how this is my life. Like, I don't understand how this is happening, because, and it happens so quickly. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, but I'm glad to be able to get this started in some way, and hopefully create a blueprint for other regions to do similar. Lisa is asking, sorry if you said this, but when is the schedule release for your cookbook, and can we pre-order? Pre-ordering will hopefully begin in the fall. So it's just going off. We just finished the copy edits. It is going to design over the summer. I get the first round, the first proof in September. It's going to be out next year, spring, hopefully. And that is barring, there's been a lot of delays in the supply chain because of the pandemic. There's paper shortages. There's like actual logistic shortages because drivers and stuff keep getting sick. So spring of next year, which seems a long way off, but it's going to be here quicker than we know it. But in the meantime, there are some of the recipes that are in the cookbook, and some of the tips and tricks, not all of it, are at my website, disabledkitchenandgarden.ca. So there are some things out there right now that you could hopefully like find use of, or like could tide you over until April. But as soon as pre-orders, as soon as that all happens, then I will absolutely, we'll have like a special live stream or something to celebrate that. I'm also hoping I meet with the marketing department at my publisher when I come back from a holiday in July to talk about things like doing a live stream for the cover reveal, because I want to be able to like do fun ways of doing that stuff, because it's gonna be so hard once I get the 3 different cover options to not just share that with everybody and keep that secret, because that means like it's getting closer to reality. It's, yeah. It seems like forever, but it just seems like yesterday that I signed my contract, and it's already going off to design, so it's not as forever as it seems. So hopefully that answers your questions. No pre-order yet. I do if you also don't want to miss it, there's like a box on Disabled Kitchen and Garden that if you enter your email address, you'll get email notifications every time a new post on the website goes up. And there will be a post on disabledkitchenandgarden.ca when pre-orders and all that stuff happen. So that is like, because obviously I cannot expect you to watch the live streams and watch every single YouTube video I go out. I mean, a lot of people might say, hey, like, watch everything, but no, that's an unrealistic expectation. So signing up for email updates on disabledkitchenandgarden.ca is another really... You'll also get recipes every time I put a new recipe on the website or whatever. You'll get notifications of that stuff too. But I think that's probably the easiest way to... Aside, my Patreons will be the first people to know that. But yeah, just... That's the best way as far as I'm concerned. Easiest, I should say. Not the best, but the easiest way would be to sign up for the email notifications on that website. And you will know when pre-orders are open. It's really all like in the before times, you would get your publishing schedule, like the timeline, and it would be pretty... You could pretty much rely on it, like this is when pre-orders are going to happen. Now it's all like if there's not another huge major disruption, then this is how it's going to look. And I'm looking again. I just bounced all over the place. Ugh. I mean, these days are like nice and like here's like your big chunk of time for this and a big chunk of time for that. Then Thursday, I'm back to, cooking and shooting and prepping and admin and recipe development. And I'm tired. What else? So, it's like almost time to wrap things up. So let's see, what else do I have to tell you all? I did that wrong. No, I didn't. There's just too many things happening here. So, yeah, our next, and then I was saying, and the signed copy will be available for order. So signed copies, I'm glad you said that. I'm actually going to put that in my notes of things to talk with marketing about, because there are actually a few people who have asked about signed copies, and what we have been doing recently, book plates, is because like the shipping to for me to order, like, I don't know, say 100 copies and then sign them and then individually ship them to people is an expensive, undergoing a lot of logistics with don't forget to vlog next weekend and edit perfectly timed voiceovers. Yeah, I'm not vlogging next weekend. I know you're joking. But so book plates, I'm thinking about doing like book plates. So it'll be, a book plate is like a printout. It's just the cover. I sign it and I ship the book plates to people. And then the book plates, like if you give me proof that you purchased the book, then I will send a signed book plate that you can like tape inside the book or have it, and it's like the next best thing to a signed book. So that's the thing that we're thinking of doing. So yeah, I might like, depending on the signal, I might quickly hop on and do a quick live stream or just really, I don't know. I have to also keep my phone open for Square payments. So yeah, signed copies. I'm glad you brought that up, because I will be talking about alternatives to signed copies that are the next best thing. So next Saturday, a reminder, I will not be here because I will be selling my art at the Island Good Days Market up Island. But we will be back on the 18th again, doing the same thing. Planning our weeks, or you can do your art journals or whatever. I hopefully will have some exciting updates about, because this is the last weekend before my holidays start. So hopefully I have some exciting updates about when I can expect the first design proofs for my book. Isn't that exciting? Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's at 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. British Daylight Time, GMT in the winter. I'm hoping between then, hopefully there'll be 2 videos out. My May Flip and the unboxing of the Ohuhu watercolor brush pen with a chisel point. Yeah, thanks for the chat, everybody. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi, Lisa. So until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay masked. We're still in a pandemic, and there's another wave happening. So just be safe, take care of yourselves, and don't beat yourself up if you cannot cook everything. Until next time, bye.